of Once Upon a Game, the one-shot story game show where we get to feature crazy, cool, awesome role-playing games and play them in one day, in one setting, never to return to this game ever again. So, hello, welcome, new people, welcome. Thank you for the host, AP Gaming. So great to have you here. So yeah, Once Upon a Game, we kind of just show up. Either people who've seen this before or not, they show up and we play games. I have a sign up schedule, and if you never played any games before, that's totally great. Rules are not required to be known beforehand. Only the facilitator really needs to know them. And tonight we're playing a really special game. One of the games that's very near and dear to my heart, Lovecraftesque. So before we get into more about the game or anything like that, let me introduce my companions here who'll be going on this story journey with us. So to above me here is Ben. Or not Ben, it's Brad. I never edited this.
I was going to play along. I was going to let it go.
I never edited this.
The mysterious player.
I was like, oh, everybody's names there are great, right?
It is the rules.
Brad. What is up, Brad?
Not much. I'm just really excited to play some Cthulhu-esque tonight. I've read over the rules a little bit, and I'm really excited to get into this.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've always liked to ask my guests whenever we're playing a game a related kind of question to sort of the genre or hobby or anything like that. Tell me what kind of Lovecraft types of things are you into? Do you perhaps like any of the literature stuff, or have you seen like a TV show or anything that's kind of sort of like alluded to Lovecrafty kind of stuff? Like what sort of like Lovecraft media have you seen and do you like?
I feel like I've been most influenced by sort of successor things that have taken some of the similar themes of like unknowing dark horrors, things that have sort of the same thematic inspiration. Stuff like Darkest Dungeon is probably something a lot of people here will be familiar with. But yeah, I've had really little contact with the actual original source material. So I'm mostly interested in sort of the unknowable, and I'm really interested in kind of like dark revelations that force you to rethink things in different lights. But I don't know, that's really my inspiration.
Well, that's it's perfect because this is a game of cosmic horror in its finest. So you're in for a treat, my friend. And continuing over to the right here, I fixed his name. He is not Will. He is Adam. He's Dark Lavender Void. How are you doing, my friend?
Apparently, Will in turn is Sunny.
Yeah, that's because his name was Sunny from a long time ago.
Yep.
Because he filled in for Sunny one time. So.
Yeah.
And it stuck, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm doing pretty marvelously.
Oh, good.
I think after our Tokyo Brain Pop sesh yesterday,
yeah,
I'm chilling out a little bit.
Boy, man, I feel so bad about that game. For me, I was just like, I was out of it. I was just, I don't know. I've been recovering from a cold, and it's just been brutal until this morning. Basically, it just, the great weight has been kind of lifted. So all I have are some like snuffles and sneezes or whatever. But I'm fine. You guys will not get contagious through my e-germs. You guys will be great. So. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm pumped for this, everybody. So, yeah, let's move over to talking a little bit more about the game and what's going to happen. So, before we jump exactly into Once Upon a Game's like Lovecraftesque, there's a couple things I always like to talk about before we begin play, and that is number one, that we follow a rule here that trumps all other rules. It's the X card or the veil. They're not interchangeable, but we follow both of them. If you're ever uncomfortable with any sort of material, if it's too distressing or triggering in some way, because while we might be friends in real life, we may not be. We might never have gamed before, and even if we've gamed before, it's not possible that maybe we don't know each other's inner turmoils and stuff, right? So, in order to compensate for that, we have the X card. If you're ever uncomfortable with anything that comes up in the game, you make a little tiny X like this in camera, or like a giant X with your arms or your legs if you wanted to, or just message me, or like chat X, or or private message me X, because if you're uncomfortable but you like don't really want to bring it up or whatever, if you feel that feel like you're pressured or that happens, let me know. Let someone know, because nothing can change unless we kind of know it. Like, we can kind of read by body language and all, but sometimes that stuff gets missed in the moment. Because we want you to feel safe, right? Like, we don't want you to be uncomfortable. We're going to be playing a horror game. There's a chance things might be uncomfortable. If you ever experience a game where you're uncomfortable and you're playing through the game, it's the worst feeling in the world. It's horrible. So this is our ticket out of here, so we can play unsafe, because this is a one shot. I want you guys to bring it. I want you guys to explore whatever you want to bring in the game. I want you to feel comfortable doing that, because we have that pressure relief valve, right? The X guard. So are we cool with that?
Yep, let's do it.
Of course.
Yeah, awesome, good. Always got to ask. So let's talk a little bit about Lovecraftesque. So Lovecraftesque is a game about cosmic horror. It is a storytelling game where we'll take turns holding different roles and basically providing details to a story that's going to be building with pacing, and more horror and scariness builds until the very end. The trick to the game is that we all don't know what this horror is going to be, because we're going to be rotating sort of like the narrator role and like the protagonist role and sort of the watcher role. Things are going to be all of our little facets of our ideas and our imaginations are going to be added and included into this game. So the final result is this amalgamation of just terror that you could never have thought of yourself. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be super cool. I can't wait. I played this game a couple times already. I played this game a few times in person, and it was a lot of fun. And I played this game even more times online, and it's always been good. I have a couple of videos of this already done. So let's proceed to read a little bit from the book. So what we're gonna do is, this game was recently kickstarted. In the back of the book, the Kickstarter here, there is a little teaching section, and it asks us to take turns reading it. So as a facilitator, I'm the facilitator of the game. It means that I don't have, as a facilitator of any game, that's the difference. There's a difference between a facilitator and a GM, in case you don't know. A facilitator is just somebody who's responsible for knowing the rules. I don't have more creative say than any other person in this game. None of us do. In fact, we're all minority stakeholders in this game, because you are one of 3 people. You have a 33% stake in this game. So be prepared to have things change in ways you're not expected, and be okay with it. So let's just start reading the text out. So we're going to use this teaching guide to help us learn the game. We read it out section by section as we play, so we're not trying to learn all the rules in one go. If you got questions, feel free to ask me. But don't worry if the early scenes. Don't worry if you're in the early scenes and you're not sure how later stuff's going to work. We'll come to it in due course. So the player to the left reads this, and that would be Brad.
This is a storytelling game to recreate the slow-building cosmic horror of H.P. Lovecraft. We're going to take turns to reveal strange clues, one scene at a time. We won't discuss where the story is going, but after each scene, we'll privately leap to conclusions about what the clues mean, and then use those speculations to steer our contributions to the story. In the end, one of us will weave it all together into a terrifying finale.
Right. All right. So then, this would be Adam's turn.
I think I can take care of it. I think it calmed down.
Okay. So, yep, you are at each scene will take turns to play the witness, the narrator, and watcher's part of the PDF. 39, page 39 at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, you messaged me about what part we were on, and I read it a little bit before. So it's a player to your left. Well, that's all.
That's stage directions.
Each scene will take turns to play the witness part.
No, each scene will take turns to play the witness, the narrator, and the watchers. It's the very bottom page.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So each scene will take turns to play the witness, the narrator, and the watchers. The witness is the main character who gradually uncovers a terrible, inhuman secret. They may struggle to overcome that secret, but are doomed to fail and perhaps meet a terrible end. The narrator reveals strange clues, describes the people, places, and events the witness is caught up in, and plays walk-on parts. The watchers help the narrator by adding layers of atmosphere and horrifying details, by revealing extra clues, by playing secondary characters if required by the narrator.
Exactly. So like those are the three major roles. Those are the three only roles that we have, and we have three players. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rotating. So this is a game about a single protagonist who's slowly going to go insane with the revelations of some sort of cosmic thing that should not be known. What that is and all that stuff will be explored through play. And as Adam just read, what the narrator and the watchers do. So that's kind of what the game will be about. Okay. So before we start, we all have to have a clear picture of the kind of story we want to tell. Lovecraftian horror stories are about a vast, uncaring universe full of lurking monsters, alien civilizations, and terrifying gods that make human concerns seem meaningless. They don't include ghosts or werewolves or any of the monsters you see in classic gothic horror stories, folktales, or Hollywood horror stories.
Lovecraft describes alien monsters like those found in modern science fiction and presents them as the denizens of an arcane horror story. The stars in space are vast and terrifying, not wondrous or inspiring. Lovecraft supports this with the ancient tomes full of blasphemous secrets and sorcerers casting sinister rituals to summon abominations from beyond. All of this is supported by a tome reminiscent of Gothic horror. Elaborate, arcane language, forbidding and unfriendly locations, people hideouts on the inside and out who serve these alien masters, and layer upon layer of relentless detail to heighten the tense atmosphere.
Excellent. Adam, can you?
Yeah, I can. Lovecraft describes alien monsters like those found in modern... Oh, oops. Okay. We start by agreeing who our witness will be and the setting for the story. We'll go through the stuff we have to agree one thing at a time, and everyone should throw in suggestions and discuss them until we're all happy. If we get stuck, there are inspiration tables in the rule book that we can look at for ideas. For ease of reference, the stuff you need to decide now is, should I read this part, or is that just for us?
No. This is... You can read it if you want, because we're all...
I mean, it is reference,
discuss it anyways, right?
I might want to just cover it anyway, just for
this is stuff we're going to do right now.
Yeah, so first we're going to do the era and general setting for the story. Do we want to do that right now? Or
we do that right now. Like right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So, what kind of general setting do we want to do? Like, traditional Lovecraft horror takes place in, like, the 1920s, but we could do something a little bit earlier, even like... colonial time or before. I mean, really any time works, but or even in the future. I've done like 1950s Cold War. I've done modern day. I've done 1920s. Are there any particular times or periods of stuff that we that jumps out at us? You want to do a traditional story?
I think I want to go just far enough in the future that we have Oculus Rifts and other sorts of VR.
VR stuff?
Yeah.
So like 20 minutes into the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes.
But it's a little bit more steady than we have it now.
Sure. Yeah, that's like your standard cyberpunk. Not cyberpunk per se, but like more like Remember Tomorrow. So like almost like post-cyberpunk-y. Okay.
Like, things are like they are now, except for these advanced tech things.
Exactly. Okay. So, next thing to do is the main location. So the main location is going to be where most of the story wants to take place. It would be probably the place where a lot of the horror could happen.
I'm going to say an observatory in Texas.
Okay.
I like that. It's got to be kind of isolated, though. I mean, it's an observatory, so obviously, it might be... I don't think Texas has a ton of mountains, but...
Okay, cool. And now...
It does in the west. It was pretty mountainous when I went out there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it in West Texas. Let's go like El Paso and stuff like that. Yeah,
so, other locations... So everyone should come up with about one or two different spots that we could use. Let's see.
Could we use the Alamo? Or is that too on the nose?
No, you can absolutely use the Alamo.
I want the Alamo.
Okay.
I want that in there.
I'm thinking of like a creepy, dirty motel.
Yeah, yeah, it's gotta be.
You know, dirty motel. And that might be redundant because I've never been to an amazing 5-star motel. So, okay, so those are our locations. We're not limited to these locations, by the way. These are just for like inspiration. Following that is the name and role of the witness.
Do I get to say another location, or since I said the main location, do I not get to?
Oh my God, no, you're absolutely right. No, you should definitely add one.
Broken Amusement Park.
Ooh.
We're going full Texas with this shit.
Yeah.
It'll be all my memories vomited all over everybody.
The story will be titled...
It's literally my nightmares. Like, literally. It's like everything in my dreams.
Oh, God. Okay. What is the name? So let's consider our name and role of our witness. The sky was the color of a Twitch stream tuned to a dead channel. Damn it, John. That's pretty good. All right, what's the name? What would be the name of our witness and role, perhaps? I've always found starting maybe with the role or talking about a little bit about who they are helps solidify it, the name and stuff like that, and extra details.
Well, they could be a
researcher would be the
researcher. Yeah, like at the observatory.
Yeah, astronomer.
Either that or like
theoretical physicist or something.
Yeah, if it's like an actual intentional observatory, yeah, or it could be like I don't know, it could even be like a ranch hand or something who stumbles on all this.
I would much prefer that, actually.
Yeah.
Like a what's the guy from oh my God, my girlfriend's gonna kill me. Jack Burton, like a trucker, like Big Trouble in Little China, just like your average everyday person. I know you have to look him up. That's fine. I won't judge.
I do have to.
I'm thinking like a truck driver or something. Like a lot of Lovecraft stories deal with like the average Joe type person getting just spirited away into just wrecked zone. I would love to do something like that as well for this story as well. So let's do something like that.
I love the idea of a trucker and someone who specifically isn't connected.
So he's a truck driver, or she.
Yeah, or she.
Sci-fries. Because it's the future, they only serve sci-fries.
Uh-huh.
What, okay. So, should we come up with a name, or should we move on to why they are there, their source of strength, and perhaps a personality trait? Or why they're going to be at the main location, is what I should say. Are any of those coming to mind? Helping flesh our truck driver out? I'll also observe, see if chat has any cool ideas. Texas Truck Simulator DLC. Yes. Barry Normalton? Barry's not a bad name, though. I like Barry. I'm not sure if I want to go straight Normalton, though. I actually really do like the name Barry, though.
Yeah.
It's something very colloquial about it.
I'm remembering, some real early Resident Evil games, frankly.
Yeah.
But I like it.
That's another good one. Ooh, now that makes me want this guy to be a sheriff. But I played a Wild West Lovecraft game. That was the first Lovecraftesque I'd done. And that was Wild West with a sheriff. So maybe let's stick with truck driver.
I'm pretty attached to the truck driver at this point.
Watney.
Maybe Barry Reaver.
Barry Watney? From The Martian, as Hyrule Spy suggests. Ooh.
That just makes me think of Whately.
Yeah. Baskerville.
Which is also good.
Oh, these aren't bad. Yeah, definitely. The Pork Chop Express is definitely the name of this truck. So,
He transports meat.
what would we say? Let's just leave it at Barry for now. We'll come up with the last name. So why are they going to the observatory in Texas? So why would they be going to the main location?
I think you can take two tracks. Either they're taking something there, or they have to go there for some other, like the truck breaks down or something.
Yeah.
I think it's easy. Yeah,
truck breaking down sounds right.
Right. Like you check the map, there's nothing nearby for miles except records of this observatory.
Oh yeah, truck breaks down. Oh my god.
I mean, the truck's been breaking down for a while, but
Right.
now it's like stalling and just like
Yeah, it's a busted frame, spinning crank in the turbo shaft. You gotta get that aligned, right?
It's the alleged truck driver.
Yeah. Oh, alleged.
The left window is so broken he can barely see through it.
Just gonna move this over a little bit so we have some room.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So why they're there? The truck breaks down. What is their source of strength? So some examples of this could be a relationship, a personality kind of idea. Faith would be another example. Patriotism, Texas pride.
I'm kind of feeling
Could go your own way.
like family.
Yeah, family?
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling
Does he have a
either a
wife?
wife or an ex-wife.
Oh, ex-wife.
Yeah.
That he wishes things were better.
And she has their kid, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with this kid. Oh, yeah, of course he lost custody.
Right.
Yeah. But he still keeps, like, a picture of the kid on the dashboard or something? Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even all of them together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like it's not that he doesn't like his wife so much as maybe she doesn't like him. Maybe the years on the road have been rough.
Oh, man. So the aftermath of Firewatch. Wow. Shit. Now I want to play this as Firewatch. But no, that would be for a different game. Okay, so personality trait. We should come up with something that sort of describes them. We start with one. Let's see. This is something that's different than their source of strength. Their source of strength also could have been an item. So should ex-wife and kid be a photograph, or should it actually be? Like, should it be a token of their action, or is it like
I think
a
that
memory?
works great. If it's a photograph.
The game's very loosey goosey with how it wants it to be structured. Okay, I'll put photo. Okay, great.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even like really a photograph, but it's just like it's a file he had on his computer, right? And then he printed it out on printer paper, and then just like scissored out the square, and he has it in his truck now.
So it's like it's a computer printout photo.
Yeah, it's not a legit photograph.
Oh.
It's literally pulpy.
Yeah, he's like a truck driver in the age of automated cars. Trucks.
Mm-hmm.
PC printout photo. So it's like a bad quality photo.
Mm-hmm. You can see like white streaks in it from the printer.
Yeah.
Not having like enough
low
of
ink. Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Cool. So then we need a personality trait. Look at no Riga, no Nickelback, man, no Nickelback. This is a horror game. I wasn't ready for that horror.
We are sticking strictly with 9-inch nails.
So we can come up with a personality trait. I mean, Brave seems to like these personality traits can change over time in this game. Let's see.
I mean, it could be something like perseverance or determination.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I
Stubbornness?
If you have better ideas, yeah, maybe, yeah, stubborn
I
might
think
be.
it's stubbornness is the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm just imagining being a truck driver for an automated car, and like your job is just to make sure nothing goes wrong. So,
And then and you can't even do that right, apparently.
no.
Okay, so I think that's all of the italicized stuff. Yeah, it is. The italicized stuff is done. We're nearly ready to start our story. Our first scene has to contain a strange clue that hints at the horror to come. If anyone has an idea for the first clue, don't tell us! But you can be the narrator for the first scene. At the end of each scene, we'll pass our roles, the narrator, the witness, and watcher, to the person to our left. So everyone gets a go at every role. So, what are we going to do for narrator, watcher, and stuff? If you want, personally, I think watcher might be the hardest one to understand off the bat. Because you're supposed to like just sit there and kind of ask creepy questions and ask for a little bit more details. I could do a watcher. I also could be a narrator if you want me to start a scene. Or I could be the protagonist. That's...
I don't care. I'm all good with anything.
Well, we have to pick. So
Yeah.
Are you cool? I'm facilitator. Then I could be narrator if nobody cares.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Brad? Okay. Yeah. I know. Like I don't want to steal it. It's just would rather also not waste 5 minutes sitting here waiting.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Okay.
Adam, unless you have a preference, I'd be happy to be the witness.
Made it clear I have no preference, so you take witness, sir.
Okay. So then you will be the watcher first, Adam. Okay. So I have volunteered to be the narrator. The narrator is like the author of a book, except they don't get to control the actions of the witness. The narrator says where the scene is set and who is there apart from the witness. They describe the world and anyone the witness meets. They say what other characters do and play them the way an actor plays characters in a movie. The narrator should bring the watchers in by pausing, often to allow them to contribute details and elaborations, asking them questions about the scene and building on their answers. Finally, they get to choose when to end a scene.
The witness is the main character and is in every scene. When it's your turn to play the witness, you speak for them, again, just like an actor in a movie. You also say what the witness is doing, but it's the narrator's job to tell you the results of your actions. The narrator is always free to interrupt and tell you the straightforward action that you're describing is going to be harder than you thought. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, you describe the witness's thoughts and feelings, especially their fears and attempts to rationalize the things they see.
Everyone else plays the watchers. The watchers support the narrator in a number of ways. Lovecraft stories are full of rich, detailed, creepy descriptions. Watchers bring every scene to life by sensory descriptions and elaborating on what the narrator describes. They won't ever take over the scene, introduce clues, or do anything that would change the direction of the story, but they will try to intensify and heighten what the narrator says. In addition, when the narrator asks those questions, they provide an answer. They should respond with the first thing that comes to mind, never overthinking their contributions. Finally, if the witness ends up in a conversation with several characters at once, to avoid the narrator having to talk to themselves, they can also ask for watchers to step in and play secondary characters.
Awesome. Thank you. So, now the narrator gets to read this part, so that'd be me. During the first 2 parts of the game, scenes are focused on revealing clues. During every scene, the narrator has to reveal at least 1 clue. Clues are signs that something sinister is going on. Anything that reveals new information about the horror or sheds new light on it is a clue. Clues can be anything from an eerie noise or an inhuman-looking footprint to an alien artifact or terrifying vision. When we introduce a clue, we write down the details on an index card, or in this case, I'm going to be entering it on Roll20. Whatever we write on, these cards will be used to weave the final horror at the end of the game. We can add in bits of atmospheric detail without making them clues, but nothing really weird. And we can reuse old clues without it counting as a new clue, as long as by doing so we don't reveal anything new.
Lovecraft stories are slow building, and until the very end, low-key and leaving room for doubt as to what's going on. Everything we narrate must be possible to explain rationally, even if it strains reason a little. We can't introduce tangible evidence of the supernatural, and we're encouraged to leave plenty of room for doubt. We should also refrain from narrating direct evidence of violence against humans or any kind of attack on the witness. First-hand accounts of any of these things should always be from unreliable sources, always subject to doubt. Even so, clues should always be intriguing, baffling, or scary, not something you could easily forget or dismiss.
However, each of us gets to play one special card that allows us to break these limitations or go beyond our normal roles. Whenever a card contradicts the rules, the card wins. Some cards have an instant effect and then are discarded. Others are permanent. You play them, and then everyone else can use the special effects on the card.
Yes.
You get to draw 2 cards, but you can only play one of them. In a 2-player game, you get 3 and play 2 of them.
Yeah.
Your cards will tell you when you can use them and what they do, so watch for opportunity to use them.
Yep. I should have warned you, though. We will not be using the cards for this
Okay.
game. I found them to just be too much of a hassle to get them distributed and set up, and they're more fun without it. So, when the first scene is over, the facilitator reads this part. Okay, so I get to start the scene. So, I think we're going to see a scene of the witness. So, the scene opens up. It is nighttime. We see him pull into a truck stop or / motel type place, and he wants to go get a room for the night at the local motel. And there is a creepy guy behind the counter, sort of like a... Actually, let's make it a girl. Like a 45-year-old woman, very like motherly looking, very conservative dressed, hair in a very like tight bun. There's no computer or phone at the desk. You see like the carpet is all it's very old, never been updated since the 70s or so. The paneling and stuff also has never been updated since the 70s. The humming of like the HVAC unit can be heard. It's probably, and you also hear the radio playing at the desk of the concierge, right? I guess or administrator person of the motel. The static that's coming in on the radio slowly fades away to the sounds of a reverend talking in like very like fire brimstone-y kind of Christian talk radio that's like prevalent in the South, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
I think on one side of her face she has like extreme acne, but only on like her right side of the face. So when you look at her, it's on her left.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to get a room, and it's quiet except for the HVAC unit and this person sitting behind the desk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shag carpet.
So I walk up to the desk. I've already got my overnight bag from the truck slung over my shoulders. Sort of shuffle a little slowly, not paying too much attention to what's around me, up to the front desk, and I look over and try and get a measure of the person, the woman across from on the other side of the desk, and just say, "Excuse me."
She looks up and she's like, "Yes."
There. I was looking to get a room for the night. It'll just be one night.
Very well. And she pulls out a really old looking ledger. The color of the pages is very like what do you call it? Like the color of like teeth that are like yellow. I forget what you call it. Plaque. It's like very like old stained color.
You mean vanilla?
Yeah, vanilla. That's it. But that doesn't sound as scary. It It's very mocha. So she opens a page and she looks like, yes, okay. We have room 7 available this evening. Single bed.
That'll do just fine.
I think as she's been handling this, you can see on her, also just on her right hand, she's got like red stripes in her skin, like right between like these knuckles right here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 sets. And they're both equally severe.
Very good, very good. Tell me, can you, what's your name?
It's Barry.
Barry, my name's Angela. Good to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well, Angela. I'd just like to get tucked in for the evening. It's been a long day on the road.
Oh, of course, it's very late. Well, you know, my father owns this place, and it's a good Christian place. So I always gotta say, keep it better than leave it better than you kept it. But otherwise, have a blessed evening.
Sure. And Barry just reaches out kind of quickly for the key in her hand.
Yeah. She brings the keys. I imagine all the keys are on like one of those like the wall of hooks,
right,
or whatever. And she just grabs you the rule. I forget what room number I said.
7.
7. Okay. The key. Okay. And I think that the thing that you notice is that I think the key is a master key, in a way that it's what do you call a key that's not been shaved or anything like that? It's like a key that's been unfit.
Is it a blank?
Yeah, it's a blank.
Okay. Barry takes the key, and I think he holds it in his hand, and he looks at it for a second, and to hop out of character, I think he recognizes that. That's he's worked with, maybe he's worked with tools in the past, but he understands the significance of the key, and he thinks about it, but it's not something he's likely to pay much mind or say something about himself, and then he goes to take out his wallet to pay.
Okay, yeah.
And I think as he does so, as he moves to pull his card out, we see a heavily folded piece of paper that's tucked into one of the slots where you can hold cards. We can't see much of what's in it right now, just that it's a standard piece of paper that looks like it's very creased and worn. It's been folded over a bunch of times and shoved deep in his wallet.
I have a question for you. Does Barry wear a wedding ring?
Yes, he's got a gold band.
I think Angela remarks, how's your wife?
She's good. She's good.
That's good. And yeah, it's like I saw your ring. It's nice.
Yeah, she's a nice woman. Look, I'm just gonna tuck in. It's been a while. 7.
Yeah, and we negotiate on a price or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so he pulls back and kind of, I think he takes one last look out the front window of the, I imagine there's a window and he can see his truck out in the lot. It's in the dark. There's maybe one light that you can sort of see it, but he kind of looks back and walks down the hallway towards room number 7, or towards where he hopes room number 7 is.
Right when you were in front of the window, there was a vent on the floor. So the temperature about in here is like probably Upper 70s, but the air coming out of the vent is probably 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's like deathly cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the clue for the end of this scene, you have the sense that you're being watched the entire time. You feel like uncomfortably watched.
Sure. So as he's approaching the door, he gets his feeling and he quickly looks to the left and then, looks back to the right, hefts his bag over his shoulder, mutters to himself, "I'm just jumping at everything tonight," and slots the key in the lock, unlocks it, and opens the door and heads inside.
Yep. Okay, that's the scene.
Your room smells a lot like rose.
Ooh. Okay. So, I made the clue the key, right? Can I get rid of that and just make the clue actually just be the sense of being watched?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I thought you were making the clue the key, but it's fine.
I know, I realized actually that I prefer just the sense of being watched.
Right. Cool, yeah.
Okay, so that's the scene. That was perfect. That's a perfect, great first scene. So, when the first scene is over, the facilitator reads this part out. After each new scene, we can add one new trait to the witness's index card based on how they were portrayed in that scene. Nothing really changed. I don't see a need to add a trait to him. Do we see a need?
Not yet. I mean, things might compound later on.
I think it's very rare that you'll ever see a time when a trait gets added in the beginning. Their first scene, I think. So once,
because you need to establish who the character is first.
Yep. And so the facilitator reads this part out. Now it's time to consider what we think the true horror might be. We're going to be making some pretty wild guesses, especially at this early stage. But we shouldn't let this hold us back. Instead, we should really leap to a conclusion, as full-fleshed as you can, and write it down in a couple of sentences. Don't show anyone else. We'll update our ideas at the end of every scene. When we're narrating, we should base our clues and other contributions to the story on these conclusions. Okay? That's kind of important. At the end, we use them to give us a strong idea of what the final horror could be. Okay? So now we all rotate our little hats to the left. So now I am a watcher. Brad becomes the narrator. And Adam becomes the witness. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep. I need to write down my theory.
So it's definitely a slow building game. It's intentionally supposed to be this sort of like build. Oftentimes I find this game almost emulates Stephen King better than Lovecraft, but they're both really good. So.
Cool.
Okay. I've got my clue in mind. I'm ready to begin.
I have mine as well. I'm not gonna write it on stream just for everyone can be surprised. And I want you guys to see it.
Okay, so we begin the scene maybe an hour sometime after the last scene ended. We are in the hotel room. The walls are covered in sort of like a kind of beige, maybe slightly of a paisley pattern. It's an ugly old motel room. Maybe it was fashionable at some time. The wallpaper is peeling, and the ceiling has that spotted, modelly texture thing that cheap hotel rooms always have.
Yeah, it's very it's cold and it's very damp. It feels like humidity. You know what I mean? What's the word? Not murky. What's it? Not muffy. I forget the word. Anyways, yeah, muggy. Muggy.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of muggy? I don't know. Muffy. Muffy the Vampire Slayer. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. The there's there's a window on the wall, and the moon is coming through, and we can see inside, and there we see Barry at his desk with his laptop in front of him, or his technological device of some kind. Otherwise, there are no lights in the room beyond the glow coming from the laptop screen.
What's on the laptop?
I think it's... This is why I'm staying muted. So I know what it. I don't know what it is before, but it's like, okay, maybe it's like Facebook or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him change tabs. Or no, not change tabs. I have a better idea. He closes his web browser and pulls up pictures. I'm going American Horror Story here. He pulls up pictures of his wife, and they're just basically photos for him to beat off to, because like they were pictures they took during their relationship, and they were on his phone, and he like hooked up that stuff to his computer and transferred the photos and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, they're on the computer.
So you just get like if it's a TV show, like his head is in front of it, so like it can be shown to like an audience. It's like so that it can stay like TVMA or something like that.
Right. I think the moment that starts, there's a rapid knocking on the door.
Yeah. He's gonna just like teenage boy close everything down and yes, come in.
How is he dressed?
He was just undressing himself, but he was like dressed in like pretty formal clothing. Like I'm imagining like a tight blue and white striped like comfortable-ish dress shirt.
Oh, okay.
But it's just got like a white undershirt under it.
Okay, so after Barry says come in, there's a quiet sound, and then a click as the lock turns and the door slowly creaks open. And what was the woman's name? Rose?
Angela.
Angela. I was thinking of Rose from the set.
Rose sounds way better though. Shit.
Well, the door opens, and there is Angela, and she's standing there, still in her uniform. And there's a leather-bound book that's in her hand. And she says, "Hello, Mr. Barry. I hope I haven't caught you at a bad time."
No, not at all. I like I said, come in.
And she stands at the door and she says, "Oh no, that would be most inappropriate. I merely came by because, well, I've made a terribly embarrassing mistake. Here." And she sort of moves her hand across the threshold and holds out the book as if she wants you to come take it.
I'm muttering myself, can't be anything too bad. And then I like hop the chair this way, and then I start like getting out of the desk and like heading over to like take it. And I do take it.
What's the temperature of the book when you grab it?
Is this for me or for Adam?
It's the narrator.
Okay, yeah. The temperature is slightly warm. The leather has that slightly wet feel that leather can get sometimes when it's left in a humid and warm place, but not necessarily unnaturally so. The whole hotel has felt this way, and it's a plain leather-bound book. But as you take it, she says, "I would feel horrible if we left Mr. Gideon out of a guest's room. The previous tenant liked it so much she just had to take it with him. But that's good. Maybe if you find something particularly touching, you'll take it as well." And so she hands you this Gideon's Bible, the required reading of all hotel rooms.
Nice.
I was going to use this as my prop, but this is way too big.
Yeah.
It's also much too forbidden.
Is there anything strange about this copy of the Gideon's Bible?
Well, I think that depends on what Barry does with it.
Fair enough.
Sure, pocketing it.
Okay. So I think,
like after she leaves me alone, that's what I'm going to do. With it.
Right. She does.
Okay.
Okay. So as you step back into the room, maybe a little bit of time passes, and what does Barry go back to doing?
I think he's uncomfortable with that arrangement at this point, so he's just I think he's going to go over to YouTube, put on a little Alex Jones, future Alex Jones, and he'll be fine. He's just going to listen to what the government's doing this time.
What's the name of the internet at the hotel or motel?
I think it's the Lord provides.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the Lord watches over.
Oh my God.
-6G. But I think your tunes come on, and sort of that music that Barry is comfortable and familiar with comes on, and then he starts to hear some odd interference, like some lyrics don't seem quite like he remembers them.
Wait, do you know what Alex Jones is?
No, I have no idea what Alex Jones is.
Alex Jones is not a song or
okay.
A person. He is.
Please educate me.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to be excited about this. Alex Jones is a I'd say podcaster, news-ish sort of person who's into exposing government conspiracies and sort of stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right, perfect. Okay, so he's listening to that, and then
he hears the Imperial March thing, which is a very common thing for that show.
Right.
I'm not joking with that. That's actually a thing.
Okay, that's fine. But there's like, it sounds like someone is talking over Alex Jones. Like there's another voice.
Like maybe there's something in another tab, but how?
Sure. But there isn't.
I'm wildly like clicking around and stuff like that, and taking the headphones off.
Right. So when you take the headphones off, you notice that you can still hear some sounds. It sounds like maybe almost like voices, but not quite.
Maybe like animal sounds.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily animal. It's like if you've ever lived in a dorm, and you can hear people moving around in a different room.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And after a while, you hear those words, or you hear a susurrus of things that almost sound like speech, and then it quietly stops. And that's the end of the scene. So the clue is the strange words that were both cutting into the broadcast and then could still be heard.
Okay, strange words from the broadcast. Awesome. So once again, take a little bit of time to consider, digest what the final horror could be. So we're gonna keep doing this for 3 more times. So we have a total of 5 clues, and that ends part 1. The game is set up in 3 parts. Part 1 is a little bit slower, and then part 2 happens really quick, and then part 3 is like this just super fast thing. So let's consider. We could probably do one more scene before we take our break. That sounds fair. Let's do one more scene and then we'll take our break. Well, once we come up with what our clues are and what we're thinking. A lot of people are thinking about Trump right now. Being whispered. The murmured whispers of making America great again.
Life is dark enough right now without bringing Trump into my role play.
Right.
That's never been done before. Not on this show.
Okay. So now I'm the witness. Serve this scene. I'll play the witness. Adam, you play the narrator, and then Brad plays the watcher.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're ready, narrator, set the scene.
So Barry's in the bathroom in the morning, like brushing his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that you have like this, some of your teeth are replaced. Like you've known this for years. You have teeth that, particularly in your molars, that ended up getting cavities in them, so you had to take them out. And you've replaced them with like gold teeth or stuff like that, or silver, or however.
Future.
I don't really care what sort of metal it is, but it's a metal tooth.
Okay.
And it's like on your bottom,
Okay.
and it's 2 of them right in the back.
Okay. Your molars. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2 of your molars. And you're noticing that as you're brushing your teeth, there's blood pulling from, like, it almost feels like it's either coming out of like a sore that's on your cheek, or up from down here, because it's not coming from up here. It's coming from like under your lip.
Well, okay, then.
What's actually happening is blood's going from down here to. It's actually coming from your molars.
Okay, if I'm brushing my teeth, then I'm going to spit out and wish wash some water around.
Okay.
Has this happened to me before?
I think it's happened. It happened when you still had your teeth in, but you haven't had that much trouble with like gingivitis or.
Well, then I just mutter. All right. Then, like, I just wash it out and say, like, God damn it, I have to get this checked again.
Yeah, exactly. It stays pretty persistent. So it's kind of like a nosebleed that takes forever to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the hell? You get a nosebleed too. Like once there's like nothing left in what you're spitting out, you get a nosebleed as well.
I curse again. Like, God damn it, this place.
Yeah, and the bright red blood from your nose hits the water, and the whole sink just turns like pink for a second before it's all gone again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna put some toilet paper in my nose or whatever, and I'm gonna proceed to pack up and hit my truck. Or I guess I have to go to the front desk, right, and check out.
Yeah. You start hearing the same voices you heard before, or like the voice-like noises.
When?
But
As
now,
I'm going down the hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you're, it's just like before, and you're maybe passing by the room you thought it was coming from, but now there's also like this metallic, almost like spoon being like rattled around in a glass cup sort of noise behind it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep walking over to the checkout and just get out of here. So I put the keys to the desk and stuff, and I say like, thank you very much, ma'am. Is there anything I need to sign to get out of here? As I look down the hallway a second time.
She pulls up like this clipboard of people who have signed out.
Yeah.
Above it, if you care to investigate it, there's somebody with the same first name as your ex-wife, but the last name is different than yours or her maiden name, so...
Okay. So
and also her maiden name also shows up on the list. But also the names are, detached and everything, so...
I sign the sheet and give it back to her.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
She kind of looms over the desk as she says that, and you get a strong whiff of her perfume. It's kind of wet, earthy smell.
Okay. Now, ma'am, before I go, I couldn't help but notice, you might want to check something out with your internet connection. Seems to be some kind of like interference or something. I don't know. I mean, I gotta go, but just in case any other guests start complaining or something,
Okay, anybody else comes by here, I'll ask them about it. We'll get down to the bottom of this.
I pause as I probably was like leaving when you say that, and I come back and like, you're saying no one else was here?
No, what I was saying was out of character. What I was saying was that
no, I was asking in character.
Well, no, I'm confused.
I was asking. So the main character turns around and it thinks that what you're saying is that there was nobody else at the motel as a guest. So I asked,
Sure.
am I the only... there was no one else here?
No, there are other people here. They haven't complained about any problem with the internet so far.
Oh, yeah,
it's a little
of
bit
course.
slow, but
Of course, yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine. Thank you.
we've known that since we got it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Okay. Yeah, like he felt like Barry felt nervous and anxious from this and stuff, and like the nosebleed and things. That like this was like another kind of like creepy thing that was like psyching himself out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was reading too much into what she was saying, and from when she calls him, I was like, oh, that's right, and he's like, yeah, all right. Listen, you don't have any water, do you?
I think she
Water.
has some for herself and guests, so she takes like this little fist-sized water bottle to take with you.
Excellent. Cool.
Complimentary.
Thank you kindly. Yeah. All right. I head out to my truck, and I'm gonna start reviewing my truck to get ready to go back on the road.
Yeah, as you're heading out, she's like, next time you have to stop through here, stop at our motel again. We'd
Creepy
love to
Dirty
have
Motel
you.
Inc.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay.
Door shut.
So is that scene?
Yeah, I think so.
And the clue was the what was the clue? The blood in his mouth.
Yeah.
Or was the clue the names? Okay. No morning beer to get you going. No morning beer for me, Riga.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What was the clue?
The clue was the
molar?
blood in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it is 10:11. So let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll come back. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back in 5 minutes.